It is July 29th, 2025. These are your headlines. They are brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. If you could check out the affiliate link in the description, they can help you get a gold or silver IRA, something many people are starting to do. These are your headlines. United States goods trade deficit has shrunk to a two-year low. United States trade deficit narrowed 10.8% in June to $86 billion, its lowest since September 2023. Lower imports weighed on domestic demand, job openings, and labor market optimism has also dipped. Oil prices have risen amid trade truce and pressure on Russia. Brent crude rallied 1.36%. WTI went up 1.48% on optimism over easing trade tensions and renewed U.S. pressure on Russia over Ukraine. Global markets were mixed after Fed meeting and earnings, while the S&P 500 and NASDAQ briefly hit a record high. Both indexes later slipped on weak earnings, United Health and Boeing. Investors awaited the Fed's policy signals as earnings and inflation data has come in. Union Pacific has an $85 billion merger facing regulatory scrutiny. They have proposed acquisition of Norfolk Southern, creating the first U.S. transcontinental freight operator. However, it requires approval from the Federal Surface Transportation Board. United States-China trade talks have concluded in Stockholm with no breakthrough. Officials agreed to pursue an extension of the 90-day tariff truce, but no concrete resolutions have been reached. Discussions may set stage for a potential Trump-G meeting, and Stellantis has warned of a $1.7 billion United States trade tariff impact. Automaker flagged a substantial tariff-related cost hit and outlined a strategic refocus under its new CEO to reconnect with United States customers. AstraZeneca has proposed United States drug prices being cut amid expansion drive as part of a $50 billion investment plan. AstraZeneca is seeking to lower prices on key drugs in the U.S., responding to mounting political pressure. Aikido meteor showers peak with up to 25 meters per hour. Skywatchers worldwide have anticipated a stunning double meteor display from the southern Delta Aquarids and Alpha Capricornids under a moonless sky, an ideal celestial event. Rupert Murdoch has been ordered deposed in the Trump libel case. Trump demanded Murdoch be deposed within 15 days in a defamation suit related to a disputed Wall Street Journal article about Epstein. Maxwell also appealed her conviction to the United States Supreme Court. Angola protests have escalated. Anti-government protests over fuel price spikes have turned confrontational. Demonstrators clashing with police on the streets in multiple cities. Ethiopian militia has claimed casualties. Members of the Fano militia asserted they killed 26 Ethiopian soldiers and wounded over 31 in an attack on July 24th in Cork, East Gojam. Ukrainian FPV drone strike. Ukrainian forces conducted a surprise ambush using first-person view FPV drones, successfully targeting Russian troops in a short, effective strike. Israeli hardline stance is intensified. Israeli National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir stated the country should occupy the entire Gaza Strip and warned of maximum intensity operations without negotiations. Dramatic Gaza raid visuals are happening, with footage surfacing showing an Israeli land raid using a bulldozer, during which individuals were reportedly killed. United Nations pressure is mounting on Israel, highlighting calls for addressing appalling conditions in Gaza. They have warned that the UN General Assembly may act unless substantive measures are taken. JNIM insurgent activity. The al-Qaeda-affiliated JNIM network claimed responsibility for over 322 raids and more than 257 explosive devices between 2024 and 2025 across the Sahel. Lebanon trauma in Gaza's Zaytun. Images from Gaza's Zaytun neighborhood shared to show ongoing destruction and civilian impact on the conflict zone. Turkish condemnation of Israeli actions as well. President Erdogan has accused Israel of committing genocide against Palestinians over 22 months, vowing historical and legal accountability. United States consumer confidence is ticking up. Conference Board index rose to 97.2 in July. That is a 2-point gain above June and forecast expectations. Sentiment improved due to reduced pessimism, but in perceptions of current job availability hit a low for the 7th consecutive month. Just had a video over on PrepperNow about how everybody is turning to van life to make things work. China-United States trade talks have resumed. Officials from both countries working to extend the trade truce, potentially lowering or stabilizing retaliatory tariffs. They both went home with no breakthrough. Direct flight debut, North Korea to Russia. First direct commercial flight from Pyongyang landed in Moscow, making a milestone in bilateral connectivity. Merck has announced major workforce reductions. United States pharmaceutical giant Merck is implementing a $3 billion cost-cutting plan, including substantial job cuts. Ukraine opens military service to over 60s. Facing recruitment challenges, Ukraine passed a law permitting citizens over 60 to join the armed forces. United Kingdom has conducted its first aid airdrop into Gaza. Downing Street confirmed that the UK has airdropped humanitarian aid into Gaza amid ongoing and availability constraints. Rail merger set to create the largest U.S. freight powerhouse is between Union Pacific and acquisition of Norfolk Southern, bringing together the largest rail freight operator in U.S. history. Procter & Gamble has raised U.S. prices. P&G announced amid mid-single-digit price hikes on about 25% of its U.S. product range, aiming to offset a projected $1 billion tariff-related cost hit following the appointment of a new CEO. Some of their products include soaps and shampoos and such. You would know them. P&G is a major product, so expect prices to start to go up across the board. This is a redo because they mess with my sound, and I will not stop. This is your crisis report brief for July 29th, 2025. It is brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. Keep fighting. God bless. Have a great day.